In this video, we're going to go over how you can search for Spanish homeowner leads, Spanish solar leads, and Spanish business leads. And to do for Spanish.
California?
Okay,
Yeah, Hispanics.
so this is what I would do, right? So we'll do some math. So obviously we have black and white, and the way I've been finding Spanish is I'll just make the neighborhood, less than 15% black, 15% white. That leaves Spanish because there's no neighborhood in America that's 60%, 70% Asian.
Mm.
So we go and do this, and we'll also flip that. We want it. Are you doing telemarketing? Are you doing emailing? How are you reaching?
Telemarketing.
Okay, so we'll make sure everyone has a cell phone. You could also switch this, but if you don't need the email, I wouldn't switch it because by default, everyone switches these. So if you only need the phone number and no email, I would think that these leads
Well,
specifically
where
look
I need
less.
to go to do that? Because I see on your screen, but I don't see where to do it here. To switch to remove uh NA mobile one, where I
Yeah,
need to go.
so if you want to make sure everything has a cell phone, you would hit this switch. Because you see like right here how we have
Oh, got it.
an A under wireless one. This means they don't have a cell phone tied to this
Got it.
record. So we just go ahead and switch this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're looking for homeowners, these are all homeowners. I typically like to just filter the age range because sometimes you may get data that's the child and not the parent who's the homeowner. So I just by
Okay.
default filter that out, and I sometimes you may have some people that are deceased, so I just also cap it at 75.
Mm-hmm.
Um, here's income. I will go over that in a sec. This is how I
Mm-hmm.
found Spanish. I filtered it, meaning that the neighborhood's no more than 15% black and also no more than 15% white, which means the
Okay.
neighborhood would be 70% to 100% Latino. It's not perfect, but it's based off of language, the census data and language. So
Okay. So put what there? Put 15% there.
I'll usually put 15 because when this searches, you'll see um, the names. And there's obviously some names that aren't Latin, but there's a lot. So just from doing
Mm-hmm.
those filters, we get the. I mean, obviously there's some Asians in here, but still, that takes care of most of the filtering that you would need to do. Now, if you were looking, let's say, for lower income California, right? I would use
Mm-hmm.
the income range. So the income isn't perfect, but the average goes up to 225,000. So if you
Mm-hmm.
find,
But if I don't care about the income, I can leave it blank.
yeah, if you don't care about the income, you can leave it blank.
Okay.
And then obviously, are you doing you need homes, apartments? What's like the type of property that
Yeah,
you're
we need only homes.
okay, so you can flip this switch here. It takes care of most of the apartments. I mean, sometimes it's not perfect. I mean, it's looking for these keywords. So if there's another keyword in there,
Okay.
does perfectly. So when we do that, let's see what we're left with.
Mhm.
So we have and then another thing you can do. Um, what people have found this landline column to be used for is finding people that were born in one area, then moved to another area. So, for instance, if you wanted to put 305 for Miami, right?
Mhm.
We search, we'll find people who were born in Miami more than likely, but also moved and bought a home in California in the last 20 years.
Mhm.
Sometimes people just are able to find different niches because, for instance, if you're from California and you know everything about solar, and if you moved to Arizona in the last 5 years, you probably don't have solar. So that was like a little little.
I'm sorry, I was on call.
All right, I'm probably back. So what was the last thing you heard?
Okay, well, was talking about the landline to put a number to see people they board there, but maybe they move.
Yeah, so
if I want a specific city, I put the city where they say the city, and that's it.
yes, but I find it sometimes it's easier to do it by postal code because you might like Los Angeles has many different postal codes. So what I would do is like, what's the city that you're looking for?
Like right now we can look for Pico Rivera.
How you spell
Pico, it's P as in Papa, I as in India, C as in Charlie, O as in Oscar, space, R as in Romeo, I as in India, B as in Victor, E as in Echo, R as in Romeo, A as in Apple.
Let's see. Sometimes there was these little smaller neighborhoods. Sometimes it's hard to pull it up like that, but let's take a look. Okay, so there's 6,500.
Okay, got it. So, okay, in this case, yeah, I found here where they said the number, how many you have.
Yeah, I broke up. I'm sorry, but yeah,
I'm sorry.
6,550
Oh, I got it.
are in this range. So all of them have a cell phone. So if we take a look, we can see all of them have a landline. I'm sorry, wireless connected to it. There's two addresses, right? This address is the home we're talking about. So all of this info here is from the local government, the county. So it tells us how big the home is, the bed, the bath, what they purchased the home for, if they have that info, what their taxes are, etc., etc. And then the address all the way over here is the mailing address. So here we see the address we're talking about is 920. The address that they get their mail is 920. So they live at the same exact house that they receive their mail, and that's listed here. Sometimes you'll find like a rental, and or more than one home. So that's why these addresses will be different. But typically, when you have the filters like this, you tidy it up to be the primary residence. And
Okay,
then this,
got it.
I usually go over the last name. Why? Because if I happen to get the son instead of the wife, and I mistakenly call him the husband's name, well, if I said Mr. Chow instead, it helps a bit. It adds a little bit of ambiguity to it. But yeah, this would be the best way to do it. I mean, you have a pretty good list here. So if you find a list you like, you just hit buy and save. You can select the quantity. So I'll just pick 50 for now. And it's really helpful if you name everything really tight because then you'll be able to find it later and you can resend it to yourself and it doesn't cost you any money. So you basically get to reuse these leads forever. So I go hit you can select what email you want to go to. So in the future, we will charge for more emails, but what people are doing is they're selling the list to other people because they can send it right to their email without anyone knowing it was from Advocate Data or Datatoleads.
Oh, okay.
So they've saved it. When you hit the save button, it's a little glitch that I haven't fixed yet. Don't click outside. Like it has to save and close the window.
So when I hit save, they kick me out, correct?
If it doesn't, sometimes we'll send the list as empty. So you can resend all the lists you ever save here. So you have access to everything. So this goes all the way back to last year for me, September. So if I come about it, like, oh, someone wants to buy DC homeowners that make greater than 50% of the national average, well, go right here, email it over. And let me change my sharing on my screen. So then it goes directly to the email that you select. And if you don't have Excel, then you'll have to open it up as a Google Drive attachment. Wow, that's interesting. Everything doesn't want to work today. Oh, there it is. So see the list appear right there. You can see that right here. You can download it. But sometimes if you save the list too quickly, it'll come empty. So it'll literally say zero kilobytes.
Mm.
And I think this actually might be an example. Well, let's see. Is it?
Mm.
And then you have all the info here. So you can upload it to your dialer, your CRM. So you guys are dialing or texting?
Mm. Dial in.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you guys have a good process. I mean, a lot of times when people at the Spanish market, they do excellent. It's not wide open, but I mean, you have less people tackling it.
Yeah, that's why we're trying this one for that market right now. Okay, so basically, well, that's pretty much it. That's simple.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys need anything, you can just ask. There are solar leads in there too that might be worth trying. There's a solar lead section. They're all over 1 year old, but we re-enriched the phone number. So those people did opt in for solar over a year ago. We updated the phone number so it's accurate. Do they have solar yet? We don't know, but the
Correct.
quality, especially if you're doing telemarketing, it
Okay.
worked.
So only to last thing, if I want on the list, they only have the phone numbers. I only need to click the switch to remote NA mobile one, correct?
Yes, just that one. That's it.
Okay, got it,
But
got it.
if you want that only makes sure it has a cell phone though. If you want landlines too, you wouldn't have to switch it, and you would still make sure everything has at least a landline. But that's
Okay, if I don't switch that one,
if you don't switch that one, then you'd be left with everything. It wouldn't filter out for no phones or no emails. You'd get some with no phones, some with no emails, some
I
with
got it.
landline.
So if I switch that one, it's gonna be only with phone, no matter it's a landline or cell phone, correct?
If you switch that one, it will always be a cell phone. It won't be a mixture.
Oh, and
So
if I want landlines too?
you get the landlines by default. I made a mistake when I was
Oh, got it, got it,
the
got
land,
it.
not the mobile, but now I realize we should add that as a feature.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. And that's it. That's pretty much what it is. And I can. And when I record, okay, in this case, it's like $6,000, 6,000 leads and Pico Rivera. If I pick 1,000, they give me the first 1,000. And if I pick tomorrow for another 1,000, automatically the system know which one they send me and send me a different ones.
Yeah.
Or
So each account that is on the platform generates their own suppression list. So when you download something, it gets added to a suppression list. So then you never re-download it again. The only
okay,
time
got
you
it.
download it again is if the phone number gets updated and we change it in the system.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So let me try it right now. Like play a little bit with this, and if I have any question, I text you.
Yeah, definitely, Raphael. I appreciate it. Anything you need, let me know.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Have a good day. We'll be here if you need
Thank
us.
you.
Bye bye.